Hey guys, happy Monday! It's me again for our Facebook Live and my goofy hair. Should you spend money on candy, chips, and other snacks like food for your food storage? This is kind of one of the big debates in the food storage world. And just really quick before I start, I'm Charisse Merrill, founder of The Merrill Project. And I'm going to tell you why you do need to store comfort food, pleasure food, yummy food in your food storage. But first off, if you're new here, or even if you're not new, go ahead and comment below. Let me know what your favorite comfort food is. What's your go-to food? Mine is chocolate all the time. So let us know what your favorite food is in the comment section below. And when I was 13 years old, my dad lost his job. He lost his job for about 11 months, and he was the main supporter of our family. He brought in all the income. There were 8 of us kids at home, and he lost his job. It was when the market crashed a long time ago. Anyway, he went without a job for ice cream. Good. Love it. He went without a job for 11 months, and looking now as a married woman and stuff, I did not even realize that it was that big of a deal that my dad lost his job. And the reason why was because we had food on our table. My parents lived off of their food storage for that almost entire year while my dad didn't have a job and was out looking for a job, and nothing seemed different. It could have been because I was 13 years old, but nothing seemed any different because we still ate the same food every day. We had food on our table, and my parents weren't stressed about figuring out how to get food on the table. So it was interesting, and I didn't find this out until later on, but we eventually ended up moving halfway across country to Nebraska, which is where I am living now, back and forth. So why food storage? Why do you want to have comfort food in your food storage? And here are your top 2 reasons why. Number 1 is if you are living off your food storage, chances are things are kind of drab in life. If you're having to, like my dad lost his job, nothing felt different because we still made cookies and cakes whenever we wanted to, that type of thing. But when you don't have a job or you don't have that money to support food, you're going to be feeling really stressed. But being able to make cookies, being able to make cake, or having those ice cream and those chips and all that little food that you always go to when you're stressed will make things better. They'll make things happier, and it's going to keep you going when you're stressed in that time. So if you're having that comfort food in your food storage, it's gonna make a big difference when you're having to live off of your food storage with an already stressful, frustrating experience that might be happening. And the second reason, it might shock some of you, is bribery. Yes, we bribe our kids, but you also need to bribe your spouse. Now, my husband doesn't love beans very much. We do have some beans in our food storage, not all of our meals. But when you're making similar meals, or you're cooking a lot of meals with rice or beans or noodles because you're living off your food storage, so you're eating more frugally, they might get sick of it after a while. So having cookies or chips, or saying, hey, I can go make you some homemade ice cream. Side note, yes, you can have ice cream in your food storage if you eat your dinner. So being able to have that ability to bribe your kids or your spouse, or even yourself, say, okay, let me get this food down in first, and then I'll be able to have the food that I really want. And to just be able to give yourself that you can have that food because you have stored it in your food storage. But on a side note of comfort food in your food storage, a lot of your comfort food doesn't really last very long in long-term shelf-stable food storage. So I'm going to give you a few tips on about how to store it a little bit longer. I'm going to go through my list so I don't forget. Okay, so the number 1 tip is to do it yourself. So if your comfort food is something like ice cream, figuring out how you can make homemade ice cream. There is something called Gossner's shelf-stable whipping cream, and you can actually make homemade ice cream with a shelf-stable whipping cream from your food storage. So you can have ice cream in your food storage. Cookies, learn how to make cookies or cake or brownies from scratch, and that will allow you to have that comfort food in your food storage without having to repackage brownie mixes and cake mixes and such. Pinterest has all kinds of copycat recipes, so if you have a recipe that you absolutely love, then go to Pinterest and find that through. So the second thing about comfort food in your food storage is if you love chips and crackers, they don't store very long or very well at all. But the good news is if it's your comfort food and you're buying and eating it frequently, then you can go ahead and store up to about 3 months supply of that in your food storage, because on average, that's about how long those chips and crackers will last before they go stale. So go ahead and store that favorite salty snacks in your storage, peanuts, trail mix, but only store up to about a 3-month supply of that. But you'll keep rotating it as you eat it and use it. So just make sure you always grab the oldest one first, and you will guarantee yourself at least 3 months of those salty snacks in your food storage. Another one is chocolates. Some people say chocolates don't last long in food storage. They do. They taste just fine. We made chocolates for Christmas this year with my mom's 16-year-old chocolates. The only thing is they do get a little bit, they change color. So funny. Okay, so back to chocolates. Chocolates do change colors. The dark chocolate will get a little bit of a pastel chalky color. The white chocolate will change to brown maybe, but they still taste good. So if you love chocolate, go ahead and store chocolate. No problem with that. And then the last tip with long-term comfort food is candies. So if you live where it's really humid, a lot of those hard candies like Jolly Ranchers, some types of mints, they'll all get sticky and yucky and stick to the wrapper. So if you want to do those, then you do need to pre-package them or repackage them in an airtight container. So some people do it in mason jars. They vacuum seal those mason jars. Some of them do it in plastic, the freezer seal, vacuum seal bags. So for candies, you'll want to redo those other than chocolate for it to last longer. Now chocolate with nuts in it, like I'm losing my train of thought. Peanut M&Ms, those will go stale after about 3 months-ish. So make sure you're rotating through that. So to recap, when you plan your food storage meals, make sure you add in your favorite foods, your comfort foods, to live off while you're eating it. It will help you feel so much better. It will make you happier when you do have to live in a drab situation. So thanks for watching. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, like it, share it with some friends. Make sure you leave a comment below on what foods you can't go without, such as ice cream or chocolate. And if you like this video, then you'll probably like my other video, Top 3 Food Storage Mistakes, and I will link to it in my notes. So bye for now, guys, and I'll see you next time.